Hello, my name is Jesse Smith, and I am going to be talking about Assignment 3, Informal Assessment Strategy for PID 3230. So today we're going to look at Kahoot. Kahoot is an online gaming program that allows students to answer questions interactively in the classroom. And to start off with, we're going to learn how to Kahoot. So to sign up for Kahoot, you go to kahoot.com. It's relatively easy to sign up for an account. You don't have to give out any vital information. You just give a name and an email address. And you're able to create your own Kahoots or search for ones that other people have made. There's tens of thousands of them on there. And it just makes it a little bit simpler if you don't have the time to create all sorts of new ones. You can just go and sample other people's work. So what is Kahoot? As I said, Kahoot is an online learning game. Students can either use computers or other electronic devices to log on to the game. You'd be directed to go to kahoot.it. Usually the easiest way is for students to go on their cell phone, as nearly everyone has a cell phone these days. But in the event that you wouldn't have electronic devices for everybody, you can always use a computer lab. Kahoot is an anonymous way for instructors to gauge students' knowledge of learned material. The reason that it's anonymous is that students can log on using a nickname. They don't have to use their real name. If they're not feeling confident about the material that they've learned, you can just enter a nickname, and then afterwards everything's tallied. You can download a spreadsheet of it. Kahoot is the most exciting thing to happen in the classroom since sliced bread. Since I introduced it to my last class, it's really helped create a positive learning atmosphere and a much easier way of reviewing information with students, and they really like it. It seems to be quite an exciting challenge for them. So with Kahoot, we have multiple choice questions with a quick time limit. So usually you set it to be about 10 seconds per question. That way students aren't waiting for some of the slower students to add it in. Unfortunately, you'll find that with some questions you'll need to add a little bit longer on there. But if you leave a longer time limit, it seems to drag the quiz out. So shorter is probably better with this. So with these multiple choice questions, the points are tallied up at the end, and a winner is announced. So they get to see their name up on a big screen, and they get pretty excited. Scores are provided to the instructor at the end of the quiz, so you can download to a computer and review everything on that at the end of the day. Where to Kahoot? The classroom setting is the best place for Kahoot. You can be played with individuals or in teams. I like to mix it up between individual and teams. Sometimes when we have limited students, I'll break them into 2 or 3 or 4 teams, and they can go up against each other. The only problem with that is if somebody shouts out the answer, the other team can enter the answer as well. The students can see top scores and try to answer questions as quickly as possible. So it's a timed game. The quicker you answer the question, the more points you get. That's why it adds that level of excitement to them. Kahoot really gives you a great snapshot of what the students have learned. So if you kind of keep the question simple but related to the material that you've been learning, it gives you a great snapshot on how they're doing. Some problems with Kahoot. You need electronic devices. So if you don't have computers or you don't have internet access or some means of connecting the students digitally, Kahoot is not viable for you. If you're using nicknames instead of the students' actual names, the instructor won't be able to identify them unless the students give them their nickname at the end. The games can only be played using multiple choice. So you can't use fill in the blank or essay questions or any other type like that. And there needs to be a central screen for students to view. So in our college it's great. We have televisions everywhere. Students are able to see exactly where the questions are because we've got overhead projectors and televisions for them. And the odd time, students are going to feel dejected with their low score, right? If they haven't been studying, if they haven't been paying attention, that seems to be a bit of a downer for some people. The advantages of Kahoot: it really creates a positive learning atmosphere. Students want to study the material. They want to be engaged in the material, and they get really excited when they know Kahoot Days is coming on. Kahoot is a fast, effective way for instructors to gauge the students' knowledge of their material learned. Right? You can do it in 5 or 10 minutes, and it's really, really, really fun. So I found this little quote online: "Learning is not a spectator sport, so let's play." Right? Get everybody involved, get them engaged, and they will love Kahoot. So some of the best practices for Kahoot: make sure students are prepared to play. Give them ample notice to bring a device to play on. That way they're not feeling left out. You want to create quizzes that are fun and educational. Questions that are too difficult will limit its effectiveness. And use short timers. Right? The longer the timer you use, it kind of stretches out the game and students become disengaged with it. Feedback. Students receive feedback right away. Right after the question is answered by everybody, the correct answer is put up, and they can see what it looks like right away. Scores can be downloaded and reviewed with students later on, so you're able to have that on a spreadsheet and everybody can take a look at it if they want. And they just added a new homework feature that can be used where students do quizzes outside of the class, and then the scores can be revealed the next day to them and see how they did. Another quote that I found on a website says, "Adults, like any other learner, need to know they're making progress." So with this game, it's great. They can see exactly how they're doing if they're able to answer the questions correctly. So here's a video that Kahoot's put out. This is kind of their go-to video, so we'll check it out. So here are some reviews that people have given for the Kahoot game. You can see they're all positive. It's really fun. It's a great game to use. People seem to really, really enjoy it. And here is the reference page. Thank you very much for viewing my video. Hope you enjoyed it.